Okay. I'm going to try not to make this video long. We have a lot going on here today. I told y'all that I was going to come back, right? I told you I was coming back, right? And I was going to try to make dinner. I'm trying not to make this video too long. But I had told y'all I was going to come back and make some chicken and waffles with y'all. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do right now. And I guess just chatted that with y'all. Let me just set this over here real quick. You guys, for real, low key, I'm like really, really exhausted. I'm not really feeling too good right now. My allergies are starting to like act like crap. Again, excuse my stuff in the background. I am moving. So I have already preheated my pan, and I'm just going to right now actually do, I guess, the preparation for everything. This is I'm gonna show y'all what that is in a minute. If I can get it open. There she go. This is pickle juice. So for you guys that like Chick-fil-A, I wanted to let you know that Chick-fil-A actually soaks their chicken in pickle juice. I bet y'all didn't know that. I looked up the recipe for because me and my kids wanted to do our version of Chick-fil-A nuggets or Chick-fil-A chicken strips, and they actually, yes, they soak their chicken in pickle juice. I'm actually going to do something simple. Usually, when I do this recipe, I do my own, recipe, my own take of it. I usually already have my chicken, like cut up and stuff like that. But I wanted to like do that in front of y'all and like chit chat with y'all and, um, just do it right now. So I'm gonna first deal with my chicken because we're gonna make chicken and waffles, and I'm just not doing anything out extraordinary. I got basic ingredients. Like I said, I got pickle juice flour. I got some ham spray that I'm gonna use for my waffle maker here. That was gifted to me a couple years ago. I rarely use it, and it's actually very, very nice. I'm gonna use a little bit of this, my favorite season, and I just pray that you all are like today and that you've had a day full of like all things positive. I've actually had a very, very good day. I'm gonna try to keep it clean right now because I really want to speak on, be spiritual about some things. I am like everybody else, all other human beings. I have a hard time with, like really standing on faith and really just not believing, but being reassured that things are going to work out the way I need them to be. But the reality of it is, I've had things that have, occurred in my life that did not work out the way I needed them to be. And I've had to really come to terms with the understanding that they didn't work out that way because God didn't want it to work out that way, even though it was hurtful for me. There's some things that I see now in the future where I can say, okay, that was for my good. And there's other things where I'm just like, I'm still not understanding it. So I've made a couple videos lately talking to y'all about how, just standing on faith and trusting and believing in God's will for me and, what God has for me and what he wants for me and knowing that everything will work out. Eventually I have been, what is the word I want to use? I had located a place to live, but then I realized, I needed a little bit more. So I've looked for a couple other things. So I went to apply at another place. I had a friend of mine go and help me. I told you guys about this earlier, where she took the money orders and stuff for me because she lives closer to, she lives in that state. So I'm very grateful to her for that. She took the time out, to go do that for me to drop off those money orders. So there was another place that I wanted, and I've been waiting for a whole week for the price to drop um on the unit. It's a 3 bedroom, 2 bath because it's in a beautiful neighborhood. Their setup is really, really pretty. Um, as is the other place too, but it was just something about that place that I saw in my own eyes that I thought was better. But so you guys, I've been up all night. Literally, the price of the place really, they usually say they change every Wednesday. So it didn't. So again, I've been waiting a whole week for the price to drop, right? So I'm in conversation with a friend of mine last night. We chit-chatting on the phone. It's a little after 12 midnight, right? So I was telling my friend about, the same thing I'm telling y'all now. And he was telling me this is this. Right when he said that, something was like, go online and see if the place's price has changed. Y'all, why I go online and sure enough, their price, the price changed from 1,840 to 1,813. I can do that. So I'm trying to fill out my application. Y'all, I end up falling asleep, okay? Doing the application. So I get up this morning to go do the application. And I said, okay, I'm gonna do the application. I said, you know what? I want to check in on my friends and family and my, acquaintances, viewers or whatever over here on YouTube. So you guys remember when was making that video earlier, um, you know, I got off, right? My kids ate breakfast. I didn't even get any of that except the grits, and that's fine. So I got off. I want to do the application. Y'all, while I'm doing the application for this place, mind you, I really, really, really wanted this place. So I get to the application. I'm doing it. I put in all my information, y'all. Put in all my information right at the end. Why the price changed. So I called and I was like, I talked to this gentleman, really nice gentleman, and yes, there are 2 bedrooms left. He said someone called about 20 minutes ago. Mind you, 20 minutes ago, I was on here with you guys doing this live. I was cooking breakfast. He said someone called 20 minutes ago and they were filling out their application and they secured the place because they put down their holding fee. I'm like, oh my God. So I asked the guy, I said, well, you have another one. Like, what's the difference? He said the first place, apartment 201, was black appliances. Apartment 204 is whatever color appliances. I'm not really concerned about the appliances. That's like really miscellaneous to me. I said, but I started the application. I told him the same story, how I fell asleep, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, I'll just take this other one. I said, but when I went to complete the application, the price changed. And he goes in his system. He was like, oh my God, yes, it did. So I honestly cannot afford that 1,850. I could afford the 1,813. So I was like, it is what it is. And for a minute though, I was like, oh my God, I really, really wanted that, this, and this. But then I was like, Kim, everything happens for a reason. You've been through this before. There was probably God was protecting you from that situation. That place was not meant for you to have. And then when I went into it, I noticed that I will be responsible for my electric and water. At the other place, I'm only responsible for my gas and my electric. And I'm going to tell you guys something. I share a lot of stuff with y'all, and I've shared this with you guys before. I have no shame about my trials, my tribulations, my struggles, or anything that I've ever been through in life, being homeless, being young, being abused, whatever. I don't hide anything out of shame because those, like Sierra Wilson said, those are my beauty marks. Those of what have made me the woman I am today and want to strive and do better for my children and have a better atmosphere and so forth in life for my children. So again, happens for a reason. So again, I'm looking and I will be responsible for electric and water at this place that I so-called really wanted. But then when I went back to the thing, because I've been in a situation before where I've had my water cut off. I lived in a house and my business at that time was not doing well at all. You guys, my water was cut off for 6 months. The struggle was real, but God is good because I had some really, really amazing people in my life that actually helped me. And I'm going to tell you how this young lady helped me. And again, I hold no shame. She actually, okay, was taking water bottles for me and taking them to her house and filling up the water bottles so that my children could take a bath, so that we could flush the toilet. The struggle is real. And I'm sure everybody has their own story. And this is why I be looking at people and I be like, people take the little things for granted. People take so many things for granted that it's not even funny. Yes, my water was off for 6 months. Got in another situation about a year ago where my water was off for 3 months. The struggle be real and it is no joke. So the moral to that story is the place that I thought I really, really wanted, I would have to pay the water and the electric bill. And for me and my family, even though we're just a small family, water can be water is the water bill has always been my enemy. So I am thankful that I guess I had the opportunity to, apply it to other. See, I don't believe in shopping outside of my means either. I don't, it is what it is. I was going to try to cut the meat with it, but I don't believe in shopping outside of my means. So the place that I originally applied at, I guess, will work out better for me. Anyway, as far as, affordability or whatever like that. So I've learned in the past that like stop second guessing myself, stop, you know, thinking, this or that. But I am smart enough to know, y'all, never put all your eggs in one basket. I am smart enough to know that. I'm gonna try to flatten this meat. It's pretty thick. These are just plain chicken breast. So this is really not cutting the way I want it. So I guess we're gonna end up making I guess like chicken strips. And I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the pickle juice. But I'm learning to stop really, second guessing myself and just knowing that, things happen for a reason. And that situation might have not have been a good situation for me and my family, being in the past I had a hard time, maintaining a certain utility because water is very expensive. And even though I know in the district well, most places, the DMV, the water bill a water bill comes every 3 months. But in my case, for some reason, I was never able to like really keep up with it. So, again, the moral to that story was, everything happens for a reason. And, just, I mean, to God be the glory. So after this little situation, you guys, I'm going to wash my hands real quick. So, thought I had some paper towels, but anyway, wash my hands. Make sure I get it in with the soap. So, y'all, everybody got a story. This young lady's story is very, very inspirational. I'm going to tell you what her name is. Her YouTube channel is amazing. Let's see. Let's find her. Let's look at my library. Her name is Nadine Raphael, and she just was talking about the first I guess sermon that I watched of hers was called Nadine of Inspiration, episode 5. And then the power of God's name. The power of God's name. You guys know I am not good. What is it? Elohim, or something like that. ELOHIM. Sermon or something else. But the moral to my story is it's amazing how situations or something will be placed in front of you right at the right time. In her sermon, she was just talking about how, and it was right on time. It was literally right on time after that whole situation had happened with the whole apartment, me not getting that certain situation, and then finding out that was probably what was best for me for financial reasons. But she got into a sermon and talking about God's timing and how God will put, people and places and things and just little incentives, you know what I'm saying? Or just, indications of things in your in your path. And she was just talking about, like I said, it was weird. What I'm trying to say, it was weird because, not weird, but it was miraculous because I was coming out of something, and as soon as I get on YouTube, because y'all know I watch my inspirational stuff. So as soon as I get on YouTube, her video pops up, and she was talking about exactly what I needed to hear, and that was nobody but God. So I'm just like, wow. Then the next sermon, and the next sermon, the next sermon. I watched three or four of them. She just talked about all this stuff that I needed to hear right now about God's timing and waiting on God, and how nothing is impossible with God, and that is so true to the utmost about it being God's timing. Y'all give me a second. I'm gonna go get a plate. But it was like the video I watched was like, to me, they were reminders. They were reminders of how good God is, and how merciful He is, and how if you really heed to Him and acquire Him and long for Him, that He will He will show you the way. And that is this like the third or fourth time that something like that has happened to me. I'm going to turn the fire up a little bit on the oil. But listen to me, y'all. He will. Like, if you acquire God and you really want to, seek Him, be vigilant. We keep your ears open, keep your heart open, keep your mind open, because He will put things in your path to talk to you. And that's what it was. I had one of the moments when I was like, wow, I needed to hear this right now. I needed to hear this lady talk about exactly what she was talking about. And it just reset me. It was like a reset. My whole mood was reset. I was totally reset. And I'm gonna tell you guys something. I'm a very open person, and I'm learning not to be so open, especially here on YouTube. But I feel like in life, I have nothing to lose. I don't concern myself about what people think, what people are going to dig up with me, because I'm more concerned in life about my grace, and I'm more concerned about my salvation. I'm more concerned about what God thinks about me, and how He thinks I'm doing here on earth, and what He thinks about my efforts of making a positive impact while I'm here on earth. And then the second is my children and what they think, and this um to some point. So I really don't concern myself over what anybody thinks or says, or anything like that, because to be honest with me, as long as it doesn't directly affect me, I'm gonna be honest with you, I really don't care. I know it sounds whatever, but I just don't care. I don't know. I don't know. It just really does not hold any weight with me right now. Like I said, my salvation and all that um, is really, really important to me. So, with that being said, right before I got on here to talk with y'all and to cook with y'all, the spirit of loneliness came upon me, and I said, God, what's going on? I said, what is it? What's going on? I said, I said, here we go again. I said, I'm trying to shake it off. I said, I have encountered um, the spirit of loneliness has encountered me, and I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to have those feelings. I don't want to have those emotions. And I have with you guys, no phone call in the world for me is going to take that away. I'm the type of person, I um, am an in-person person. I'm a personal person. We can talk all day on the phone, but I'm the type of person, I like to sit down with people. I like to, like I told y'all before, sit down, break bread, talk, communicate, intellectual stimulation. I love and I acquire the company of another human being, whether it's a friend, a companion, preferably a companion, but I acquire um, that. My pan is not getting hot, so this, oh, wow, because my dumb ass turned it off. Anyway, I'm going to move over here because I was wondering why I ain't hear any bubbles yet. So I'm going to move the pan over here. But I'm just keeping it real. I like the, um, where? The 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 company of a human being. I mean, talking on the phone is cool and everything, but I really prefer to like really, see a person in person. So right before I got on with y'all, I was like, God, the spirit of loneliness has encountered me again, and I just needed to go away. And you know what he told me? God was like, get on YouTube and cook and talk with your friends. So that's what I'm doing now. So what I'm gonna have to do, y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and make these waffles. Really don't want to because I know they're gonna get cold, but I'm gonna have to go ahead and just make them. Um, because my waffle maker is right here. It is General Electric. It's steaming hot. Turn it around so y'all can see it. It's been ready for a hot minute now, but my pan is not nearly done. And that's what I should be doing first, is making my chicken. I don't want the waffles to go bad, but I know what I'm going to do, y'all. I know how I'm going to do. Come on. How we do when you in the test kitchen. We wrap them up and we're gonna wrap them up in foil. So I got that. I got that. I'm gonna put this here, and we are about to make some waffles, y'all. I'm gonna set all of this over here. Bring this here. Bring this here. Put this over here. Here, I'm gonna need this. I have my spoon. I actually need a fork. So let's find a fork. I try to have everything together, and I do not want to make this video over 20 damn minutes. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to start all over again because I don't want a long video. I will be right back.